Friday night, it was all about the pitching as rookie Andy Suarez and the Giants bullpen shut down the D-backs for a win in Game 1. Last night, another rookie, Derek Rodriguez, pitched shutout ball into the 7th, and the offense scored early and often to take Game 2. Today, it's up to veteran Derek Holland to pitch the Giants to a sweep in another NL West showdown. Final game of the series next. We've got day baseball here in the desert as we come to you from Chase Field. Giants trying to do something they haven't done in a while, and that's sweep the D-backs. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, it's rare to say, well, maybe a sweep, especially in this ballpark recently, but the Giants have a chance to do that. And I'll tell you what, Mike, Derek Holland's going to have a hard time duplicating what the other two guys have done in this series.
Well, he's been very good of late. The last 6 starts he's had, the Giants have won 5 of those games. Giants also have done something here that they haven't done a whole lot of in the last 2 years, and that's win a series on the road. They have a chance now to sweep here in Arizona, which hasn't been done since 2016. They're playing good ball, and Austin Slater is back in the lineup today. Let's see what the kid can do.
All right, the kid from Stanford in the lineup today. Stay tuned. We'll take you to our NBC Sports Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
North Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $5.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
One more day in the desert as this will wrap up this 3-game series. And our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Hey, get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open every day. Outside 97, inside 76. You see the humidity and the roof is closed. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Hernandez, Belt, and then McCutcheon. See what he's done in the last 14 games on the road. Crawford, Hundley, Sandoval. Slater will hit 7th, Panic 8th, and Holland 9th.
On the hill today for the Arizona Diamondbacks will be the right-hander Zach Godley. Godley, 6'3", 240-pounder, and he is just about ready to get into his 3rd year at the big league level. And when this is what he's done in 16 starts, 9-5 with a 4.58 ERA. Got off to a great start. He's got one of the best curveballs in the National League West. That is his backbone. You'll see a lot of curves, a lot of fastballs. He'll also cut and sink the fastball. Occasionally he'll throw a changeup up there. Lifetime against the Giants, 2-2 with a 6.97 ERA.
Here's Gorkis Hernandez. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball for a called strike. So we get started right on time. Hernandez hitting .287 with 10 home runs. 24 runs batted in. And there's another fastball outside. Gorkis pinch hit on Friday, went 0 for 1. Yesterday had a couple of hits, 2 for 4. Foul back, another fastball. 1 and 2.
That's about where he'll be, you know, 90, 92-ish with his fastball.
Belt and then McCutcheon. And he pokes that off-speed pitch out of play.
Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively behind Godley, starting their outfield from left to right. It'll be Walker, Dyson, and Peralta, the best arm in center field. Ahmed and Lamb on the left side. Owings and Goldschmidt on the right side. John Ryan Murphy, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Hernandez knew it. He just kept walking, and that's how this game gets started.
Take a look at the swing. Did he go?
Brandon Belt.
Oh, yeah.
So here's Belt. Belt at .291. His numbers against Godley, he's 1 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Which leads me to believe that he did not see Godley's curveball very well. 2-0.
Godley throws a knuckle curveball, spike curveball, where you'll see him curl the forefinger on his right hand. Gives him 2 pressure points on the seam of the curveball, puts him in a good solid hand position. It's a really good curveball.
Out of play. Andrew McCutcheon is on deck.
See the split finger grip. That's what he uses for his changeup. He sets his hand in there. Didn't throw many of those.
Belt bounces this one off his foot. It's 2-2.
Strike zone today with Adrian Johnson behind the plate. He's a low ball guy, and he always starts off a little tight, but if you show him you can throw strikes, it usually loosens up.
See the rest of the crew. Gibson, Barrett, and Whitson from first to third, and it's 3-2. And there's McCutcheon. And the payoff. And he walked it.
Well, last night, Andrew McCutchen 3 hits to the right side of second base. This was a single. His second one was a big fly, just backspin it right over the wall in right center. And then he did it again with a solid bullet to the right side as the D-backs opened up their defense for him. Every time, he said.
Plus he's got a little bit of ownage on Godley. He's 5 for 9 with a double and a home run. Not quite the exaggerated defense today, but still Owings at second, playing McCutchen to pull. There's a called strike. Now he moves over to the other side of second, and now he moves back. He's messing with us. Crawford on deck, just underway. Fly ball to right. Peralta is now going to come in, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Here's Crawford.
Shortstop, number 35.
He may have been trying to hit that ball, but he got underneath it. Crawford with 10 home runs. He hit his 10th last night. And here he looks at a strike, and it's 0-1.
Highest average versus the curveball this year, and Brandon Crawford in the top 6, hitting .394. He hit a curveball out last night. I mean, that was what he golfed over the right center field wall for home run number 10.
And another strike. So he sees, at least that time he gave Godley that pitch that was off the plate.
Let's take a look at that pitch. It's a pitch cast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company, and that is definitely a pitcher's strike. Crawford doesn't say a whole lot, but he gave Adrian Johnson the look.
And he gets him with a breaking ball down and in. Derek Holland coming up.
Fans get the J-Clan bobblehead on.
Southwest Airlines, Dyson Ahmed, and then Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah, he's done very well against the Giants. Not just this year, all the time. Walker, Peralta, and then Murphy. Lamb will hit 7th, Owings 8th, and Godley will hit in the 9th spot.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the left-handed veteran Derek Holland. Holland, 31 years of age, 6'2", 215-pounder, out of Newark, Ohio. In his 10th year at the big league level. make a start number 17. Giants have won 5 of the last 6 starts he's made, and he's been on a roll. When he's right, you're going to see him use all 4 of his pitches. A fastball that'll average low 90s in velocity, but the curveball slider changeup combination, I mean, he's equal. He'll use them all, and he'll use them all on any count. Lifetime against the D-backs, never beaten them yet in 2 starts, 0-1, but with a good ERA of 3.60.
So Dyson. And he watches a curveball for a strike. Dyson hitting 185. He's got a couple of home runs. He's got 10 runs batted in. And the next pitch is down low. This is the first start in this series for Dyson. With Nick Ahmed on deck and then Paul Goldschmidt. Inside 2-1. Tell Marte got hurt last night. Have you heard anything?
No, but he's still on. They made some roster moves today. They did not move him, so we assume it's just a cramp or a mild strain, but he's not in the lineup today.
So maybe day to day. 2-2 pitch and a full count.
But as Hank Greenwald used to say, we're all day to day.
All day to day.
Not the guy you want to walk. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Derek Holland today. Starting in the Giants outfield from left to right, it'll be Slater, Hernandez, and McCutchen. Pretty good arms across the board. Crawford, Sandoval on the left side of the infield, Panic and Bell on the right side. Nick Hundley, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Nick Ahmed, who got into the game after Marte got hurt yesterday and picked up a base hit. Overall hitting at 221. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Good player. His average has always been an issue, but he's got 10 home runs this year and 33 runs batted in. Defensively, very good.
Solid.
And another strike, same spot.
Every time Gerard Dyson gets on base, you just assume he's going to try and steal.
And a foul off of Hundley. It stays at 0-2. The Diamondbacks have only scored 1 run in the series, and one of the reasons the Giants have been able to do that is they've really avoided allowing that leadoff hitter to get on. And as Mike mentioned, that is not the case here. Here's the 2 kids that pitched for wins in this series. And a little pop-up out of play. It remains 0-2.
Here's Andy Suarez, and to the left of your screen you can see Derek Rodriguez. No better time to come to the ball yard than the next day after you pitch and get a win, as is the case with Derek Rodriguez today.
Look like those guys were picking Mr. Posey's brain.
Yeah, Chris Stratton joining Buster Posey, catcher in 3/5 of his rotation. A lot of guys don't like to steal 0-2 because it is a count where a lot of managers will pitch out. We've heard other theories where base stealers will say it's a good time to go because a lot of guys throw breaking balls down in the dirt.
Got him.
Like that. Well, here's our BioFreeze moment, powered by BioFreeze. Cool the pain. Tuesday against the Rockies, Derek Holland was good. He was 6 2/3 strong with 6 hits allowed, just 1 earned run, a couple of walks, and 8 strikeouts. And he's been that way and just really in a good groove, using all 4 of his pitches and commanding both sides of the plate. And when he's getting his soft stuff over, it really sets up his fastball.
Here's Goldschmidt at 264. "17 home runs, 42 runs batted in." And it's Christian Walker who's on deck. Down low, Hundley blocks it. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
This whole series, we've seen Goldschmidt go to right field, really making a conscious effort to stay with the inside-out swing, which has locked his front shoulder in. The problem he was having early in the year when he just couldn't keep that shoulder in, and he was swinging and missing, leading the league in strikeouts. Take a look at Goldschmidt. Batting average in May 144. Go to June 364. 10 home runs, 23 RBIs. Just everything on his stat sheet, just night and day difference of June from May.
Well, they rolled into D-backs rolled into San Francisco. And remember our broadcasting friends for the D-backs? Oh, he's horrible. Can't hit anything. And he just kind of went on off as soon as they said that. Here you see the shift. So I don't buy anything anybody says anymore.
Well, for the longest time, I mean, he was hitting under 200 against the rest of the league, but like 380 against the Giants.
Two and 1 to Goldschmidt. Well, he's getting that pitch. That's 4 inches, 5 inches off the plate.
Right
Maybe
there,
even more than that.
Right on the outside corner in the mind of Derek Holland. Just so unlike Adrian Johnson to be this generous with the strike zone early in the count, early in the game.
So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes. Not in time. I think Holland might want to know where that pitch was.
Well, and I think Joe Panic wants the Giants to review that. The Giants will look at the tag. I mean, the throw was right into the runner, and when Panic caught the ball, I mean, he literally was making the tag at the time of the catch.
Wasn't even close.
Let's take a look right here. That's close.
3 and 2. And the walk. It's not a bad thing.
No, once Dyson stole second base, it kind of opened up that opportunity for Holland. He did not have to give into the strike zone with an open first base. Now he puts the force back in order and get out of this inning with a ground ball to get a double play.
So here's Walker. Walker hitting 158, a home run, 2 runs batted in. He takes a mighty Ruthian swing. And here he doesn't swing at all. No balls and 1 strike. with David Peralta on deck. This is the only hitter in the Diamondbacks lineup that has not ever faced Derek Holland. Peralta is playing way off the line. However far off the line Belt plays, that's how far Goldschmidt can get off. In tight to even the count.
Not a bad thing if you're going inside. Miss inside. Move his feet a little bit. That oftentimes can buy a little space on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. Goldschmidt almost got caught because he thought for a brief second Dyson was going to go.
That tough being a back runner.
Yeah. Especially when you're that far off anyway. You kind of have to watch the hitter and the runner so that you don't get caught not going if that runner in front of you does go.
That's a good pitch right there. Holland wanted it. He's thinking, man, I got that pitch twice earlier so far this inning, and I need it now in a 2-strike count. Why don't I get it?
Well, I think Hundley wanted it too.
Bam, right there.
Two and two. See what Dyson's thinking about. Ooh, and a healthy rip and a foul straight back.
Well, they keep trying to bind him up and pound his hands with gas. They don't want to get him extended middle away to where he can utilize that power. You see that little cut fastball. He just missed that one.
Now the runners go. And a line drive foul down the left field line.
Little guy got it a bit.
So it's 2-2. Holland again looks at second. And now he'll chase Dyson back.
I mean, that's important to put on a pickoff, even if you don't throw, for that very reason, to see the base runner going back hard.
Like, I think it's the best pickoff play.
The one you don't throw.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, you get that base runner back on his belly.
Walker's taking some healthy rips.
Man, you keep going in there, testing the waters on that inside corner. I mean, he's got good balance on those last two swings, and he's not getting fooled. You see the foul ball go straight back. He's on you. He's got you timed.
Yeah. Maybe time to bounce one.
Well, either that or changeup. We haven't seen him throw that changeup yet.
So it's 3-2.
I would expect the runners to be going.
Got him. And that may have been the worst pitch of them all.
Well, Walker keeps backing off the plate like the ball's going to hit him. And I mean, he did it over the count on a corner pitch. Here he goes right back again with that same jackknife action.
Well, I tell you what, he fooled me.
And he didn't fool Adrian Johnson that time. So the runner's not going, holding their ground. It really was a good thing.
Here's Peralta. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Holland not happy with himself.
He's had a lot of pitches this inning. Been pitching out of the stretch, a lot of stress pitches.
Here's a strike.
But the big fastball that has really been working for him has been the one on the inside corner. And Peralta, he gets bound up. So right now, if you're getting corner pitches, stay on them.
And Holland just threw a ground ball to Panic.
You got to keep your second baseman sharp.
It just looked like Panic was taking infield.
All right, here we go. Ready? Hey, ground ball for you, Joe. 2-hopper. Let's work on that. That a bit.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Holland should get an assist on that.
Ball in 1 strike. Foul past and behind Dave McKay. This will be the 30th pitch coming up.
Look what I got. Mom reactions are the best.
They're always worried about the one that didn't get it.
Oh, yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And a high drive to right. McCutcheon back. At the wall. Got it. Humidor. It's nothing.
SFN Arizona Sports Station is your official home for
Wood Credit Union offers full-service banking for all that you love. Federally insured by NCUA.
Well, on Saturday, July 7th, as part of the Giants' 60th anniversary celebration, the Crazy Crab, the anti-mascot. From the 80s, he's going to make an appearance, and the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a Crazy Crab scarf, courtesy of Good Neighbor Pharmacy. sfgiants.com. Here's Hundley to lead things off. It'll be Hundley, Sandoval, and Slater facing Zach Godley. Hundley hitting a .252. Takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0.
I came from Reno to watch the ball game. Giants. I'm going with Giants. Why is that a big deal? Well, Reno is where they have the AAA affiliate, the Reno Aces. AAA affiliate of the Diamondbacks.
2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch. 3-0.
But Reno is Giants country.
How would you know that?
Well, because that's where I live.
Just check.
What?
Goodness. Only not that pleased with that, to be
Well,
honest with you.
he's got the Jeff Kent smile. His lips may be smiling, but his eyes aren't. I mean, that ball went behind his head. And that was all his old saying. If you want to hurt a guy, you throw behind his head. And I don't believe this was personal. But I'll tell you what, it makes you think when it goes up around the head behind a guy. That's 3-0 pitch. And that shakes up not only Hundley, but every hitter in this game, even the ones that have Diamondback across the chest.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Most walks per 9 innings. Well, that would be Zach Godley. That's the National League leader. Still 3-0 behind the guy's head. Have a clue.
Sandoval with a base hit to left field.
Well, Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote. Get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
Left fielder, number 53, Austin Slater.
Here's Slater. We had a big game Friday. Slater went 3 for 4 Friday with 2 RBIs. And why is the 2 RBIs significant? It was the only run scored in the game. And the Giants won 2-1. And what does Slater see? A breaking ball. All of his hits on Friday went to right field. He had a double down the right field line. He had a double in the gap. And then he broke his bat on a ground ball past Goldschmidt. One ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the 2nd inning. Inside Chase Field. The pitch. Swinging a cue shot foul down the right field line and out of play.
And a good breaking ball. It's the 3rd time the Giants have seen Godley this year. The very first time they saw him, it was one of the best curveballs that they'd seen all year. 2nd time they saw him, he didn't have that same breaking ball, and they torched him.
So here it's 1-2.
And today he's got a pretty good one.
And Slater just saw it.
3 strikeouts for Godley, all swing and miss strike threes.
Second baseman, number 12, Joe Panic.
Here's Panic. Panic has not had any luck against Godley. He's 1 for 11. But he's showing signs. He hit a home run last night.
Now, Joe Panic's got a very flat swing, and guys who have good 12-6 type break on their curveball are always going to give him problems.
Look out. Well, now you put the ball in play, you may get a run. Is that a wild pitch, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely it is. I mean, it's not a comfortable at bat right now. He's not a blazer with his velocity, but still he's up around low 90s. Every once in a while he just gets underneath one and he has no clue where it's going. So yeah, you're right, that could be a pass ball, but as wild as he's showing, official score may rule it a wild pitch.
So it's 1-1. And Panic nubs one to right. And he's got a base hit. And coming in to score is Hundley. And the Giants take an early lead. It's 1-0.
Looking for a mistake with a fastball. He gets it out over the middle of the plate.
So we take the lead. Number 45, Garrett Holland.
Panic, as Kite mentioned, is in a good groove. A little cut fastball, didn't do a whole lot. Stays inside it. Toe tap, no stride. Giants take the lead.
Well, let's see what Holland does. Think he's going to bunt? I think he is. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Got a pretty good swing. He just doesn't have anything to show for it. Well, you watch that and you say, well, let's let him swing.
Well,
and maybe that's what Ron Wotus is going to say. If that's the best you got, let's try as far as trying to bunt.
I mean, you can't ask for a better pitch to bunt. I mean, it really is unnerving. The amount of reps and times that these guys have been working on it. I mean, they bunt more than anybody as a staff.
You mean practice?
They practice bunting more than anybody.
1 and 2.
But you look at that and you think, well, make them bunt.
We're really confused now.
I guess if you're Bruce Bochy, you just want to stay out of the double play.
Yeah, exactly. The worst thing Godley could do after watching that fastball that Holland swung and missed at, the worst thing that Godley could do is throw him a breaking ball. It would allow Holland to catch up to anything coming to the plate. And he fouls this one. It stays at 2 and 2.
Well, one thing's for sure. I mean, he's got 1 hit, but if he ever got an RBI base hit, kind of led to a long or a big inning, his teammates, I mean, he would energize that bench.
Well, he's got it to 3 and 2. A walk would energize the bench.
You hate to put a 3-2 take on, but I mean, you got to think about it.
Tapped out in front of home plate. They're going to go for 2. And they're going to say they got him. Giants will take a look at it.
He's out.
Giants on the board. We'll head to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0.
Habit. Try our delicious sides, including the new Sriracha Lime Tempura Green Beans. Visit habitburger.com for a location near you.
All Giants games on NBC Sports Bay Area are streamed live on the NBC Sports app for mobile or tablet. Stream the Giants on the go, brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers. You love my energy on that one?
That's good energy.
Okay, good, thanks. Here's Murphy, followed by Lamb, and then Owings. They had a contestant at one of these scoreboard games, and the host, nice guy, right? And the poor girl just blew it completely.
Yeah, she did not have a
And
good
his
contest.
response was, "I love your energy. You stunk, but I love your energy." Murphy takes a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants lead 1-0.
Well, you had to end it on a positive.
Well, I know if you ever say to me, "I love your energy," something's going on.
I'm going to remember that.
Don't do it. I think the 3 guys on Giants pregame live, I really love their energy.
Yeah, good energy.
Yeah. 3-1 to Murphy. And a foul back, 3-2.
And the one thing Holland does not want to do is start this inning off like he started off the bottom of the first with a walk. A lot of pitches early on in this game for Derek Holland. It's the 4th full count already.
Well, here we go. Here's Lamb.
Third baseman, number 22, Jake Lamb.
Lamb at 238. 6 home runs. 25 runs batted in. 1 ball and no strikes.
really haven't had to worry too much about Derek Holland's command in the last 6 starts. But today, he does not have the same feel, especially with the fastball. And it's tough to pitch in this league when you're constantly behind 2-0.
Two balls, no strikes. And he gets the belt high strike. It's 2-1.
And that's not normally a pitch you get when you're kind of scuffling with your command. I mean, that was right at the top of the strike zone.
And that's a base hit into right field. McCutcheon is going to throw it in second, and it's a double for Lamb.
When you're struggling with your command, you give up good locations, you miss up. And Lamb fights it off. They had him play towards the right center field gap. They gave away the line. Very aggressive turn and try for 2 for Lamb, and it pays off for him.
So here's Owens. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Strikeout situation now for Derek Holland.
The pitcher, Godley, is on deck. Good pitch, nothing in 2.
Missed the big one right here with the pitcher on deck. If you could get this strikeout here, get a non-productive out, the pitcher on deck, you have a chance to strike him out, then face the top of the line with 2 outs, and you could pitch out of it. So this is an opportunity here with the 0-2 count for Holland.
High and deep into right center field. It'll be Gorkis Hernandez who makes the catch. Tagging is Murphy, and this game is tied.
So it winds up being a nice situational at bat for Owens in the 0-2 count to get that fly ball, because not only does he score the run, it's deep enough to move Lamb over to third. And once again, Holland will have a runner at third, thus a 2-out scenario.
Pitcher number 52, Zach Godley.
So the walk does eventually come in to score. Godley's got 1 RBI on the year. And he takes a healthy rip. He's 3 for 29. Cued foul, nothing in 2. And the 0-2 is in the dirt, 1-2. This will be pitch number 48. The pitch. Ooh. 2-2.
Close.
Close.
It's one Holland wanted. This is the corner that's kind of been there sometimes, and sometimes you don't get it. It's been inconsistent.
Got him anyway.
So that's the strikeout you look for with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. Third strikeout for Holland.
Center fielder, Jerome Dyson.
Here's Dyson. Dyson drew a walk to open up the bottom of the first inning. Defensively, here's where you got to speed things up on a ground ball.
And he will bunt any time.
Oh, 0-2.
Anytime.
Hundley keeps it close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Already 52 pitches.
That's one thing you don't worry about when you're out there. You just go as hard as you can, as long as you can.
And a base hit.
And those hurt. The 2 strike, 2 out RBIs that give your opponent a lead. You had a couple of swing throughs on the breaking ball, then you throw a fastball and he fights it off. Take a look at the location, and then he's just right out at the belt over the middle. Another poor location with the fastball. And that's the type of pitch right there you get asked about when you get back to the dugout.
Here's Ahmed. Ahmed struck out in the first. Here he lines it to left, a base hit. Slater gets to it. And now you got to face Goldschmidt. The D-backs were thinking, oh, good, we scored a couple. Well, now they can put up a big number.
Now they can put up a big number. Right now, Holland battling for his life. So Hundley going to go out and talk to him a little bit, and this is just to give him a breather. A lot of pitches.
Goldschmidt drew a walk in the first inning. The ball's in 1 strike. Two for 5 lifetime. Goldschmidt against Holland. And the pitch in the dirt. Hundley uses his shoulder. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, that unnerved Nick Hundley. I mean, that's worst case scenario if you're trying to block a ball so far out in front of home plate on the changeup. And in the end, he just catches it in his inner thigh.
Yeah, it was his thigh, not his shoulder.
Never touched the glove. You know, the one thing about it, you're not going to call another changeup if you're Hundley. That takes a pitch away from you.
So Holland trying to slow things down.
Giants start to get their bullpen going. You know, he's got a base to play with here, 2 outs. I mean, if he walks Goldschmidt here and loads him up, it's not the end of the world. He got power on the deck, but he's not Goldschmidt.
McCutcheon underneath this one, and that'll end the inning. Diamondbacks take the lead. It's 2-1.
Company. Enjoy a big wave golden ale or longboard lager today.
Well, Sunday, July 8th, it's your chance to score a Giants camel cap presented by Coupa Software. Be one of the first 20,000 fans to receive a cap. Enjoy summer baseball as the Giants will then take on the Cardinals. Go to sfgiants.com. Check it out.
Here's Gorky Hernandez. And a breaking ball for a strike. It's the first time the Giants have trailed in this series. It's 2-1. Belt. And then McCutcheon. One and two.
Giants would like to hit for a while just to get their defense off the field. They've been on the defensive side of this game for a long time.
He's on the ground and under the glove of Lamb. And Hernandez is going to take a wide turn and put on the brakes. Wisely so. Should be a hit.
I'll tell you, that was a nice play by Nick Ahmed, the shortstop for the D-backs, to prevent that double.
First baseman Brandon Belt.
And you're correct, partner.
Yes, hit indeed. And here's Belt, who drew a walk in the first.
It's good energy you're showing me there.
Overshift is on. Lamb on the edge of the grass at third. And Belt hits a high drive into center field. Dyson, however, has got room and he puts it away. Humidor.
Well, I mean, this is a big yard. I mean, out in center field, I mean, they built it that way specifically because they thought that this was going to be a live yard, and it has been. Well, this year, the humidor that keeps the balls at a consistent weight. They are not allowed to dry out and get light. So now center field becomes an even larger center field than it has ever been before here.
Here's McCutcheon. Cutchin takes the first pitch down low as he takes a long look at Ron Wotus. Swing. You're gonna miss.
It's a good curveball right there in a 1-0 count. I mean, that's as good a curveball as you could throw. I mean, that's tough to hit even if you're looking for it. And Godley can do that. I mean, he's got a tremendous breaking ball. It can be a little inconsistent, but today he's got some good snap to it.
Two balls and a strike.
You see the right side on the graphic, not a lot of balls hit that way. So what do the D-backs do? They stack up the left side. And that's the reason you see them in the defense that they're in.
Two and two. I mentioned earlier, McCutchen's 5 for 10 in his career against Godley. With a double and a home run. Got him.
Well, 3 good curveballs.
How far would you go for a Togo? Brought to you by Togo's Pretzel Rami. Last night it was all about Brandon Crawford and a solo home run in the top of the second off of Shelby Miller. And there you see all the good numbers. And Crawford struck out in the first. Here he shoots it into right field, a base hit. He's going to give Hundley a shot to tie this game.
Well, I kind of believe that Hundley's going to step in that batter's box with half an attitude given his last at bat. Hit a 3-0 count. And Godley threw one right behind his head at about 91 miles per hour. Those are things you don't forget.
Well, he ended up taking a walk and scoring. So he's got good speed at second. And a foul back. It's 0-1.
Let's take a look at the 3-0 pitch and the fastball we're talking about. And that is something you do not forget. We're not saying it was intentional. I'm just saying Nick Hundley ain't going to forget it.
Nice play. Murphy. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'd say this. Holland and Godley, not the greatest of getaway day pitchers.
No. No. A little bit easier when your getaway day is to another city on the road. Now, if it's getaway day going home, it's worse.
The 1-1. Base hit. Here comes Hernandez. And this game is tied.
And I do believe that that was a base hit that gave Nick Hundley a great deal of satisfaction.
Third baseman, Pablo Sandoval.
So here's Sandoval. Sandoval singled in the second, hit a ball past Ahmed. Crawford at second, Hundley at first. And now the bases are loaded.
Right now, it looks to me like Godley's got more control of that curveball than he does the fastball. I mean, he's all over the place.
Slater's going to get a chance. He struck out in the second. Right now, trying to get that feeling back to the right arm. Pablo Sandoval.
Tried to go inside with the fastball. Just hit off the triceps. So Mike Butcher taking a long time with his mound visit.
Well, clearly, Adrian Johnson doesn't care.
Meanwhile, Dave Gresham going to try and squeeze some life back into the hand of Pablo Sandoval. That's the button. I mean, that was one that hurt. I seriously would rather get hit in the head than get hit there.
Well, he also, it was his right arm, right?
At the plate, left fielder, Austin Slater.
Playing third base. That's a pretty good little throw. Well, Slater, he came through in these situations on Friday. Right now, no clue.
No clue. And right now, John Ryan Murphy, he's on his toes.
Yeah, and if you're Slater, you got to be on your toes.
So whatever Mike Butcher suggested to him, it didn't look like it worked on that first pitch.
Two and 0.
But all curveballs, doesn't trust the fastball.
And a base hit. He does it again. They're going to wave in Hundley. We got to play. No, we don't, as Hundley stops. Slater comes through, and he gives the Giants the lead. And another hit to right field. And that'll bring up Panic.
Second baseman.
Take a look at the location. He does give into the fastball, but it is out there on a tee. And Slater, who's hitting with a lot of confidence right now, he is not going to miss that opportunity.
That would have been close.
That would have been close.
Here's Panic. Panic shoots it up the middle. And that'll end the inning. Giants take the lead.
Last night, Derek Rodriguez was sensational. 6 1/3 strong, six hits allowed, no runs, just a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts, 102 pitches of impressive pitching, and that's our Ford smart play. Let's go, Brooke.
So Sandoval does not come out. It's Hansen. And Derek Holland now has the lead, so we'll see if that has an effect on Mr. Holland. And a call strike to Christian Walker, who struck out looking in the first.
You know, both pitchers struggling with their command today, and I don't really believe that this is the fault of the umpire, Adrian Johnson. Good fastball burying in on the hands right there from Holland. If there's been any inconsistency, it's been on the inside corner to right-handers. But, I mean, even at that, pitchers have just been flat out wild.
One and two. Although it is easier to blame the umpire. 2 and 2.
But I mean, he had an 0-2 count in the last 2 pitches. I mean, they really haven't been great teasers. And I think, you know, that is an indication of what type of command a guy has and what type of teasers he'll throw out there when he's got count leverage. 0-2, 1-2. Does it make a hitter think? Does it make an umpire think?
Hansen's going to knock it down. It's a fair ball. So Walker's aboard.
And for the 3rd time in 3 innings, D-backs get that leadoff runner on base. And Derek Holland right back in the stretch.
Right field, David Peralta.
See Hansen going over to his right. It was going to be a tough play. But he could not keep it in the glove, and we'll never know if he could have gotten a throw off of.
Peralta hit a ball that we thought was going out, but it was caught right in front of the wall. He takes a strike. One ball and 1 strike. Panic and Crawford at double play depth. This will be pitch number 67. On the ground to Panic. Panic shovels it to Crawford, and they'll only get 1. The only way you get Peralta is if you shovel it the way Crawford did. It's the quickest exchange. It's also the easiest one to flip into the outfield, too.
Yeah, it's risky. Peralta, not only he's got to double up, he's got good speed.
Here's Murphy. Murphy drew a walk and scored in the 2nd. And he hits a high pop-up foul. And it's 0-1. Colorado leading the Dodgers 3-2. That game is in LA. It's also in the 4th inning. That would be a sweep for the Rockies.
How about that?
In the dirt. On the ground to Crawford. Crawford wisely charges to Panic to Belt, and that'll end the inning. Shutdown inning. Holland to lead it off.
Are available for both the Cardinals and the Cubs series. Take advantage of this weekend's flash sale. Tickets starting at just $10. Sale ends today at 5 p.m. For tickets to the Cards and the Cubs series, go to sfgiants.com/flash.
Ends tonight at 5. Here's Derek Holland, who hit into a double play in the second inning, and he takes outside 1-0.
Big stretch of games for the Giants. 3 against the Rockies, 4 against the Cardinals, 3 against the Cubs, 6 against the A's. Giants in the first half against Oakland. They open up the second half against Oakland.
They're playing very good, by the way. And Holland takes a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fair ball. Holland has got an extra base hit. Maybe 3. Well, he drops anchor at second.
I'm impressed. Hey, you know what Holland's thinking? Why couldn't I have done that with the bases loaded?
Look at that.
He keeps trying to tell us it's in there.
Center field.
And it is quite entertaining to the boys on the bench. Now let's take a look at what he got. Fastball, middle in. Look on his face, almost like he was surprised. Hey, look what I did. Nice going, Dutch.
Here's Gorkis. Gorkis drives one deep into right center field, but it's going to be Peralta who tracks it down, and Holland jogs over to third.
First baseman, Brandon Belt.
You see the boys on the bench. Yeah, I do that all the time. What's the surprise?
Yeah.
You're killing me with that. Why?
Yeah. Here's Belt. The backs will pull the infield in. And the pitch is in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Belted a ball very well into center field in the third, but was tracked down by Dyson.
Yeah, he'll take that same at bat right now.
Absolutely would. Got a pitch and he fouled it back. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's called a breaking ball up. One ball, 1 strike. Foul, 1 and 2. Well, now you can pitch for the strikeout, which I'm sure Godley's going to try to do. It looks like it's going to be a game where you're going to have to keep scoring. Base hit down the right field line. Holland scores. Belt is going to head into second with a double. It's 4-2. That was pretty loud contact.
Well, and that came with 2 strikes.
Right fielder, Andrew McCutcheon.
Holland getting back into the dugout for his pats on the back. Oh, yeah, do it all the time. Hey, babe.
You can see the starting pitching. They want to get a reaction out of him, which is not hard to do with Holland.
No.
But he also is, you know, he's got to go out and get 3 outs, right?
You gotta get right back into your game face mode.
Here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon takes wide. Belt with his lead at second. So going to foul through the legs of Murphy. Giants now with 8 hits in this game. 2 doubles here in the 4th. Tap foul again, 1 and 2. Godley looking in. This will be pitch number 68 for him. And McCutcheon watches this one go by, and it's low and away, 2 and 2. With Brandon Crawford on deck. A shot foul, third base side.
Barely. He was not fooled with that speed at all.
So pitch number 70 coming up.
It has to seem like the whole day has been out of the stretch for Godley. A lot of stress throws.
And he gets McCutcheon to wave at that breaking ball. So Crawford's going to hit with 2 outs.
This strikeout for Godley, and I do believe that all 5 of his strikeouts have been on curveballs. They've all been swing and miss.
Crawford with a base hit in the 3rd. He eventually scored. Godley takes a look at Belt and the pitch, and Crawford takes wide. 1 ball and no strikes. With Hundley on deck. Nope. 2-0.
You watch the at-bats that Crawford's had against him, and he's had that back leg pretty much timed to everything that Godley's been throwing up there. Now, he struck out in the 1st inning, but he had good balanced rips against that curveball.
Well, he's 4 for 7 lifetime with a home run.
You can see what all these pitches have done to the defense for the D-backs.
Catcher.
You get long spikes. Legs get heavy.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. Gotta walk around, keep moving. Try and avoid from locking up. But you definitely take away your defense's range when you're struggling throwing strikes.
Hundley has walked and he's singled. His single knocked in a run. And he taps it foul. So the D-backs send Crawford to first to get to Hundley. Alan Hansen is on deck. Nobody up in the D-backs bullpen. They've had at least 1 inning where someone was up. Just off the plate to even the count.
You struggle with your command. I mean, you're going to always want corner strikes. Like that last pitch, that's one you want if you're out there pitching, especially when you're struggling. But you're not going to get them. You have not established it in the mind of that umpire that you're a strike thrower. He's not looking for him.
1 ball and 1 strike. This is into shallow left field. And it's going to be Walker who comes in to make the catch. Here's Holland's reaction after he got to second.
Whoa. I'll tell you, I get no respect.
So let's head out to right field where Mike
property of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Well, 4-2 Giants as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. It has been a long, tedious march. Lots of pitches in this ball game. And through it all, the Giants have a 2-run lead as we head to the bottom half of the Diamondback lineup. A man just got himself a ball. He brought his glove. Nice going. Had a bit. Mom, it's my boy. Well, if you're that young man, that's the look you're looking for from Mom.
Lamb takes a strike. Lamb hit a double over Belt's head in the second. Here he shoots one up the middle for a base hit. And another leadoff hitter aboard. Is that every inning?
Every inning. So Derek Holland, I mean, he's just, at this point, he's shaking his head. I just should just start out in my stretch. There was one breaking ball, bang, base hit, back in the stretch.
Owings hit a sacrifice fly in the second. Out of play. Holland got a nice double play ball in the third. He takes this pitch inside to Owings to even the count.
That's the mystery pitch. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
It's going to be out of play on the right field line. It's 1-2.
A lot of Giants fans here. We say that just about every time the Giants come down here to Arizona. It is a great destination. Away ballpark for Giants fans. Great place to watch a game. Very comfortable.
Foul off of Owings' foot.
And you know you're going to play. There will be no rain delays. Don't even have a tarp. There's your tarp. Outside, it's close to 100. I don't even know what the heated index is. It's probably more than that. And they do have their own signature here in right field with the pools. Yeah, out there, it's cooking hot.
Well, here's a pretty big pitch coming up. A 2-2 pitch to Chris Owings. And he stays alive. Holland pulled the string on him. It's 2-2.
It's been the one pitch, the changeup, that he hasn't really been able to establish. Doesn't mean quit throwing them. I mean, you can try one or two every inning and see if you get a feel of it. I mean, it's not uncommon for a guy to find a pitch that he didn't have at the start of the game. You can find it in the third, fourth, or fifth inning. Keep taking some jump shots.
He had a pretty good pitch to hit there, and he fouled it back. Pitch number 80 coming up.
It's a good battle.
Good battle. This will be the 9th pitch coming up to Chris Owings. And now a full count.
.81 pitches with nobody out here. Usually at the end of 4 you want to be 60 or less. That's at the end of 4.
The pitch. Base hit, center field. After a long battle, Owings with a base hit. And that makes things pretty easy for Godley.
Pitcher, Zach Godley.
Hunley's going to go out. Hunley in a conversation. There's Chica in a conversation with Godley.
Well, in theory, the bunt should go down the third base line here. Been successful with 3 sacks, so he has got a pretty good track record with the bat bunting.
And it's a perfect bunt. And Hansen makes the throw and a good one.
I mean, it's a thing of beauty. It's something that after you watch the Giants pitchers attempt to bunt this year, you just don't take for granted if you're a Giants fan. Get the bunt down and even getting it down on the first pitch.
Absolutely. So it's Dyson. Giants will play the infield at normal depth. And Dyson pops one foul and out of play.
It was a fastball that Dyson beat him on in his last at bat, and here Holland comes right back in and gets strike 1 with that fastball.
Shows bunt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Talked about Dyson being a guy that will bunt anytime. He would do it here. You don't say that about many guys who are regular players that would bunt with a runner at third base in less than 2 outs, but with this guy you do.
So a ball and a strike. And a base hit. 1 run will score. Stopping at third is Owings, and it's a 4-3 game.
Third time that Dyson's been on base. A walk, and now his second knock. And just like that, Kurt Young is going, get up, Pierce Johnson. Johnson's already been up once. Probably shouldn't take him too long to get heated. Kurt Young going to take a very slow walk out and create a little more time. So So it's going to be Corey Guerin this time, not Pierce Johnson.
Well, the hitter is Nick Ahmed. Owings is at third, and Dyson, who could go at any time, is the runner at first.
I would expect him to try and steal, take away that force, take away a double play opportunity.
And the pitch is down low. '87 pitches. This will be pitch number 88. And it will not be a pitch at all. He's got 14 steals on the year. So 1-0 to Nick Ahmed.
Goldschmidt drooling at the opportunity to hit with men on base.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Holland pitching for that ground ball that gets 2.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw almost hits Holland. It's a stolen base for Dyson.
16th steal on the year for Dyson, 2 today.
He's claiming that there may have been some interference.
Let's take a look. I mean, it's uncommon for him to throw this wildly. And indeed, it almost hit the right shoulder of Derek Holland. Look out. So now you're pitching for the strikeout, plain and simple.
And you got it.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
Giants can intentionally walk Goldschmidt with the open base. Goldschmidt actually looks surprised by it.
Well, he kept looking in the dugout. And Bruce Bochy went to get a glass of water or something. And that's it for Holland.
Left fielder,
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. Now here in beautiful Phoenix, it's a 4-3 lead for the Giants. Corey Guerin's going to face Christian Walker with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
Take a look at the numbers for Corey Guerin as he inherits the bases loaded. 33rd time that he's come in.
Pitched well in the game yesterday. Gave up a hit, had 2 strikeouts. But little different situation. He had a 7-run lead. Here, the Giants have a 1-run lead.
So important when you come into this situation, the first pitch you throw to get in that strike zone.
No balls and 1 strike.
So Walker not waiting around. I mean, it's hard to believe he'd go up there looking for a slider, which is what Guerin gave him. So Guerin, anticipating an aggressive approach, takes advantage of it, throws one away wide, and he gets him to chase.
Low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Would you say that today it was a grind for Derek Holland?
Yeah, it was a grinder for him today. I mean, he didn't have the same type of command with his stuff today that we saw in his previous 6 starts. It happens.
I'd probably say the same thing about Godley.
Exact same thing.
Cued to Belt. Belt to Guerin, and what a play to end the inning.
Wow.
He can play, folks. What a great play by Belt on a cue shot.
And that could have been 3 RBIs. Far to his right, off balance throw. Perfect lead, and they get the out.
Stop by one of the Cold Stone Creamery stands here.
Of youth sports for both the athletes and their parents. You'll check that out today after Giants postgame live right here in NBC Sports Bay Area. The program features interviews with Steph Curry and Jeff Samardzija, so we encourage you to check it out.
Here's Alan Hansen. Hansen batting for the first time. Sandoval got hit on the right tricep in the 3rd inning, and he came out after he ran the bases. And Hansen just trying to slap one. He was trying to slap one past Godley, but he didn't slap anything. That's what you call, I think I'm going to get a curveball here and I'm going to try to slap it. That's another curveball, 1-2.
Well, that makes him a slapless man.
In this at bat, it does.
There you see the defensive shift.
And did he go around? He did not. And actually the D-backs catch a break. Pierce Johnson is in the Giants bullpen. Remember, the Giants long man, who would be Ty Block, he pitched 2 innings yesterday. He threw 21 pitches.
Look out. Well, we have seen some of the wildest pitches from Zach Godley. I mean, on fastballs, on curveballs. I mean, we're talking missing by 6 feet. I mean, that's a big that's a big margin of bad.
That's well put. And he walked him. Talking about Pablo Sandoval getting hit. This is what it looked like in the 3rd inning.
Right there in the base of the trapezius.
It wasn't
or the tricep, rather.
A ricochet. They got him good.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. I mean, he's a guy that he doesn't leave a game for that reason unless it's on the button. That's of concern right there. I was saying right elbow contusion, that the X-rays were negative. Thank you, folks down in the truck.
Slater with a swing and a miss. Giants have not been very lucky in the X-ray department this year.
No, they have not.
I'll say this about Torey Lovello. He's been very patient with Zach Godley.
I mean, there's nobody down in the D-backs bullpen.
No, there's not.
Thought after a leadoff walk, you might see some activity down there.
Yeah, the only guy that's got a ball in his hand is the bullpen catcher.
But he's ready to go.
2 balls and 1 strike. Hansen with his lead. Look out. And that time Godley slipped. It's 3-1.
I'm looking at my book here, and I think if I'm not mistaken, in 4.5 innings of play, the leadoff hitter has gotten on base 8 times between both clubs out of a possible 9 opportunities. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Well, it's time to call Keith Overman. There's the walk. Lovello finally did have his pitching coach call the bullpen.
We're going to see Mike Butcher again. And he's going to take a leisurely stroll, soft jog. The soft jog to me is false hustle.
Well, yeah, you're jogging in place.
Really short steps. It's the illusion that you're picking up the pace in the eyes of the umpire.
One of my favorite guys, but yet had the worst mound visits, Walt Weiss.
Oh, Walt Weiss. Way too slow, Walt. And you're right. One of our favorite guys in the game. He's a great guy.
baseman.
So here's Panic. Panic is knocked in a run and he's rolled out to second. Owens made a nice play on a backhand to end the third inning with the bases loaded. There's a strike.
Silvino Bracho. That is the gentleman down in the Diamondbacks bullpen. He getting greased up.
Hunter Pence is in the on-deck circle. One ball and one strike. This is now we're about maybe 3 minutes away from a 2-hour game. And usually if you have a normal game, you're in the 7th inning at the 2-hour mark. Not today. Base hit, left center field. Hansen got a good jump. And Panic comes through. It's 5-3.
And Zach Godley is out of gas.
Pinch hitting for Corey Garrett, number 8, Hunter Pence.
And here he comes. So Pence was announced. I think it mattered one way or the other. Godley ended up throwing 89 pitches when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. It'll be the Giants and the Rockies. Pre-game live, which is an hour long. It'll start at 4:30. Then we'll have the game for you at 5:30. And you can watch it right here on NBC Sports Bay Area. And oh, by the way, also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. How'd you pronounce this, Mike?
Silvino Bracho. He's been up before, and he actually did a very nice job. I mean, you look at his numbers, you're thinking, why did this guy get sent out? 2-0 in the year with a 1.42 ERA, 19 strikeouts against 5 walks, only 4 hits allowed, 12 2/3. He got a good fastball that he can sink and cut. You'll see low to mid 90s with velocity. Got a good hard slider and a changeup.
So here's Pence, a run in. On deck is Gorkis Hernandez. And it's high and wide, 1-0. Slater at second, Panic at first. Savino isn't exactly picking up the pace either. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
You know, that is one thing that is professed in every organization from the top to the bottom. Work a quick pace. Keep your defense in the game by the quick pace that you have. Throw strikes.
And a strike.
And yes, some guys just cannot do it.
No, they can't.
I mean, they have a checklist of mechanical thoughts that they have to process before they can get a pitch off. And for some guys, they can't function any other way. And you see it on the golf course. And you see it in tennis matches. Some guys are just more deliberate.
Pence smokes one down the right field line, but it's going to be foul. Seen many go the opposite way that far. That little guy probably didn't think he was going to get a foul ball today, but he did. So it's 2-2. And it's 3-2 on the pitch inside. There's Gorkis Hernandez.
Giants have had opportunity every inning.
Every inning.
Well, and so have the Diamondbacks. Come to think of it,
Every inning.
opportunities have been out there.
3-2 pitch. Here it is to Pence. Bullet to left. And a fair ball. Slater scores. Here comes Panic. They're going to wave him in. Here's the throw home. Not in time. Pence standing on second like he does it all the time.
Well, that's the hit they've been looking for. And the Giants have put up a 3 spot, and they're in position to put up more. 3-2 change up, and Pence not fooled by it at all. And a great read by everybody in the base pass, and an easy score even for Panic from first base. The boys on the bench loved it.
They will cheer for all of their teammates, but some guys you give it a little extra. Here's Gorkis Hernandez. And he looks at a strike. Now here, let's go Giants chant.
Yeah, you do. It's there.
In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out. And the 1-1 is outside corner, 1-2 with Belt on deck.
No, I don't think Gorkis was too enthusiastic about that call.
I agree with you.
But the lines have been drawn on that strike zone. Now you have to expand.
Outside 2-2.
Now, if they'd have set the target on that outside corner, they may have gotten another strike. They had the target on the inside corner. That wasn't that far away from where the previous pitch was that was called a strike.
Marquise fights it off. That was in on his hands. It stays at 2-2.
Let's take a look at the swing of the bat that really broke this inning open for the Giants. A 3-2 off-speed pitch to Pence. Hits it down the line. Giants doing what you have to do in this ballpark. Score and score and score some more.
Nope. 3-2.
Bracho got into town today. They called up late last night. They sent Jimmy Sherfy out after last night's game. He pitched a couple of innings.
And he gets Skorkis on a 93-mile-an-hour high fastball, 1 out. Still an unproductive out.
First baseman.
And here's Belt. You have to add on in this park.
Well, and you have to have productive outs. A runner at second base with nobody out, and you can't get him at least over. It does hurt. As you see, the Dodgers have now tied up the Rockies 4-4. That game in the 7th inning.
Belt looks at a strike.
So what are you hoping for? They play 22 innings in LA.
Yep.
That's something that is thought of. I mean, the Giants are going into Colorado for the next 3 days. You kind of pay attention as to what the Rockies are doing today, and you do hope that their bullpen has to eat up like 9 or 10 or 15 innings.
Belt with a little dribbler foul.
Of course, they're thinking and wishing the same thing for you and your bullpen.
Well, I wish for two things. I wish for a long rain delays and then an 18-inning game.
You are cruel. That is cruel and unusual.
But given that they're playing in LA, I don't think that part of that is going to happen.
Yeah, there'll be no rain delay. Well, the sprinklers could go off, though. You could hope for that.
Belt takes wide. This is the play of the game, the defensive play of the game.
Really, and Belt has been playing way off the line. And goes far to his right, makes a perfect throw to Corey Guerin.
Well, the other thing about that play is Corey Guerin did not play the role of a spectator.
No, he got over quick. Christian Walker runs pretty well.
And Belt with a base hit. And here comes Hunter Pence. And it's 8-3. I don't know how he hit that over Owens and in front of Peralta. That's impossible.
It is not likely. Two-strike situation, kind of reaching out on the off-speed pitch. And let's take a look at it. The finesse as he places it perfectly between Owens and Peralta.
I mean, you couldn't throw it any better. So here's McCutcheon. McCutcheon'd like to join the party. He's 0 for 3. And he'll look at a strike. Again, the huge overshift for McCutcheon. swing and a miss. Nothing in 2.
That's Bracho's best challenge fastball right there.
Here's the 0-2 to McCutcheon. And McCutcheon got a 94 mile an hour fastball. The Braves beat the Cardinals this afternoon in Atlanta. It'll be the Cardinals in town tomorrow. Actually, they'll be in town tonight. They'll play here tomorrow. Fouls another one back.
I mean, that's a 110th pitch today, thrown by Diamondback pitching. You know, and you've been on the field when you've had a guy struggle and you've had games like this. I mean, what do you do as a player to stay fresh, to keep your legs alive?
Well, you try to figure out, all right, what's good on Netflix? Amazon Video's got some new stuff out.
Just try to.
I mean, you have to make sure that your mind just doesn't start to wander into those areas. And McCutcheon chases, and he strikes out. That's 2 down, and the hitter's going to be Crawford.
So you're more concerned about your concentration than you are your legs.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Shortstop, Brandon Crawford.
it's kind of all tied in together. You like to just get into a rhythm. You know, pitch, lean in a little bit, a ball, pitch, strike, in play. Boy, when it's just constant foul balls and balls out of the strike zone, that's what wears you out. Crawford skies this one to left center field, and that'll end the inning. Well, the Giants do score 4 times. They go from a 1-run lead now to a 5-run lead, and lots of hits, including Hunter Pence, who knocked in a pair. It's 8-3 Giants.
Keeping red hot. Last 18 games with Sacramento, 17 in the 3rd innings. He allowed just 8 hits, a couple of runs, 3 walks, 28 strikeouts. He's a big fella and a hard thrower, 6'5", 225-pounder, and he throws 100 miles an hour.
Here it's 8-3 Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So Pierce Johnson, the new man on the mound. Take a look at what he has done in 26 games. 3-2 with a 5.85 ERA.
And a called strike. This is Peralta. Peralta's 0 for 2.
Johnson's got 4 pitches. Low to mid-90s fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Everything out of the stretch.
And a little pop-up out to Alan Hansen. 1 out.
Nice pitch right in on the hands of Peralta.
Hey, the leadoff hitter out.
First time today. How about that?
Catcher, John Ryan.
Call the Chronicle.
Or walk on over. Mention it to Hank.
Henry Schulman, who is the beat writer for the San Francisco Chronicle and has been for a long time. Henry does a good job.
Dave yelled at him today. Dave was in line getting eggs, and Hank tried to muscle him out of there, trying to look at what the food was.
Well, plus he was trying to pick the peppers out of the salsa. That ain't right.
So the Stanford kid got a little riled up. But to Henry's credit, he knew he was wrong. He laughed. Here's Henry. 1 and 2.
Good curveball from Pierce Johnson.
There's our whole group. In the back, you see Becky Bieniek from the Giants front office. Alex. Homeroom to the right of Hank Schulman. The pitch. Got him.
2 good curveballs. Backed it up. Well, he swung at one. Let's throw another. Same location. And John Ryan Murphy said, I can't hit that.
Here's Lamb. Lamb's 2 for 2. Both of his hits came off of Derek Holland. Both times he reached base, he scored.
I always liked his swing.
And he looks at a strike, and it's 0-1.
The one thing that has given him problems, though, is left-handers.
Not today.
Not today.
Back-to-back strikes. It's 0-2.
Nice feel of that curveball. Speaking of good left-handed swings, we got a chance to see Mark Grace today.
So just saw Mark Grace in the hallway. And a high fastball. 1 and 2.
Mark Grace had a beautiful swing. Go back to the 1989 playoffs between the Giants and the Cubs. Mark Grace and Will Clark put on a show.
Lamb swings and misses on that breaking ball down and in. He may have hurt himself.
I think it hit his leg.
sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
8-3 Giants. As Hundley's going to lead things off. Yeah, so the guy in the middle, he needs to be a little happier.
A couple more runs, he'll start smiling.
Yeah, he's got the unis that we broke out in 1983. This is high down the right field line. Peralta over and under, and it's out of play. As that gentleman made the catch. See? And that made our guy happy. Remember we did the commercials for that uniform?
Yeah. We love that uniform.
The big G, the big S. Hundley is 1 for 2. Wraps this one into left field, a base hit. Hundley's second hit. And here's Hansen.
Third baseman, Alan Henson.
Hansen opened up the 5th with a walk, and that's what got the inning started. And the Giants went on to score 4 times. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
It's a good changeup. Bracho's got 3 pitches he can make you swing and miss with, and that changeup is certainly one of them. It's a good one.
Hansen cues this one to third. Got him, double play. Ahmed had to turn it like a second baseman. So that'll go 5-6-3.
That's one thing I don't ever worry about with Nick Ahmed. How he's going to be creative in a play he doesn't normally make. I mean, he is good. But you don't normally see the 5-6-3 double play.
No, you don't. Here's Slater. Slater takes a strike. Struck out in the 2nd. Knocked in a run in the 3rd, and then he drew a walk and scored in the 5th. Check swing high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right there for a strike, 1-2.
Slater, minor league totals. I mean, he's a 300 hitter. Most home runs he hit in a year was 2016. The combined year in Richmond and Sacramento, he hit 18. He had 67 RBIs that year. But I mean, he's a hitter, and he's a gap hitter, and he uses the whole field hitter.
Little flare to right. He's got another hit. I think Mike is a big leaguer. He could hit 15 to 20.
Yeah, I do. I think he's a 15 home run a year guy, but lots of doubles. But I do think he's a guy that can hit for average here. I don't think that's going to go away. I mean, minor league stats tell you a lot about a guy. Not easy to hit for average down there. It's professional baseball. Up here, the defense is better, and lights are better. I mean, it's. But I think he could hit 300 at the big leagues. He's got that type of talent.
Panic is 2 for 3. And he shoots one foul.
Minor leagues, you don't always have great lights. You don't always have guys that are comfortable at bat. You got guys that throw hard, and they may not know where it's going. Something Dusty Baker used to always talk about. He says, your track record, your track record. That's who you are. Those years in the minor league count.
Slater goes, and he steals it. That's his third steal of the year.
And another thing about Slater is he's quick.
Sneaky fast.
Sneaky fast.
Bruce Bochy said he would put him in center field occasionally.
You can't put a guy in center field if he doesn't have good speed.
Here's the 0-2 to Panic. Not close. 1-2. Joe looking for a 2-out hit. Pierce Johnson is on deck. Out of play. Giants in their last 10 games are 8-2. The Diamondbacks in their last 10 games are 7-3. Here it's 1-2 to Panic. Two and two. He is seeing the ball a lot better. Well, we're getting close to Denver, where he put on a show recently.
I had one of the greatest offensive shows in history. It was.
Three and two.
Just a bit inside. But you look at his swing, I mean, he just doesn't have that many moving parts. So when he does go into a little bit of a tailspin, you really can't explain it.
I mean, Bracho doesn't have to throw a strike. He's got first base open. And Panic rolls this one to second. Owens has got it, and that'll end the inning. It's 8-3 Giants. The Giants traded Benji Molina to the Rangers for Michael Maine and Chris Ray. Molina played 4 seasons with the Giants, and in that time frame, he was a 2-time Willie Mack Award winner in 07 and 08. And he really did set the stage for Buster Posey to take over.
Passed on a lot of knowledge to Buster Posey his rookie year. And Buster appreciated the time that Benji spent with him.
So Pierce Johnson throws to Owings, and it's out of play. Owings, a sacrifice fly and a single. Descalzo is on deck. And a good breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Pierce Johnson's had a great breaking ball today. That curveball's been nasty.
In tight 1-2. Descalzo. And then the top of the lineup, and that would be Dyson, Gerard Dyson. On the ground, foul. Past Dave McKay. Matt Kump has just hit a home run off of Ottavino, and that has given the Dodgers a 5-4 lead. And that game is in the 8th, so they can just go right to the closer. Got him.
Good curveball. Again, we've been saying that a lot with Pierce Johnson. That's about his 6th snapper that has just been perfect. I mean, not only is it big and hard breaking, but location is perfect.
Pitch for Silvino Bracho, number 3, Daniel Descalzo.
Here's Descalzo. Descalzo takes a strike. He had a rough game yesterday, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. One ball and 1 strike, Descalzo. Has been really a great addition last year, this year with the D-backs. Played all over the place.
He's a guy that could absolutely help any team.
Any team.
Especially if you get a team that's contending. Do so many things for you, and just great temperament. Never rattles.
Two and two.
Always felt that was the one thing the Giants had in their runs in 2010, 12, and 14, is they had calm all throughout the month of October.
Finally, he's going to come back. Yeah, even especially in 2012 with all the elimination games they had to play, there was terrific calmness about him, and I think that runs parallel to who you have starting that day. And they did not have a rook running out there. They had veteran guys that just figured out how to do it. Including Barry Zito. And I mentioned him because, hey, he wasn't even on the roster in 2010. 3-2 to Descalzo. This has popped up. It's either Panic or Belt. And they'll end the inning. No, 2 down. And now here's Dyson. Dyson's been on base 3 times. He's really hurt the Giants.
Dyson.
He's got 2 singles that have knocked in runs, and he's drawn a walk. He's got 2 stolen bases. Slater now comes in and he makes the catch. And now that'll end the inning. 7th inning coming up. A lot of pitches thrown in this game, especially through the first 4 innings. Giants with an 8-3 lead. Holland, he was a grinder. Godley, it was a grinder. Belt is 2 for 3. Dyson's got a couple of hits. And Hunter Pence has got a pinch hit that knocked in a pair of runs. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Jorge De La Rosa, the veteran, coming into the game now. De La Rosa, starter a long time, has found a home here in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, and he's a guy that can give you about 7 different types of pitches. And I'm not making it up. He'll throw everything at you.
There's a called strike.
And he can still run up there, low to mid-90s with a fastball, a 2 and 4 seam. He's got a cutter, a slider, a curveball, a changeup, a split.
And he can throw them all to Pierce Johnson. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, you know the rule. I mean, if you're facing another relief guy, another relief pitcher, you're supposed to throw all fastballs. First big league at bat.
And he hits one to third for Lamb.
I'm impressed. Let's go, Pierce Johnson.
Center fielder, Yorkis Hernandez.
Oh, yeah. Breathe. I mean, that is an adrenaline moment. And he got to do something Archibald Moonlight Graham never did. He got to take a big league at bat.
Yes, he did.
All right, now he's got to get his game face back on.
Pitch to Gorkis is a shot on the ground, but right there is Owings. 2 down. And that'll bring up Belt.
First baseman, Brandon Belt.
Belt's got a double, a single, 2 RBIs. And he takes a strike. Belt has played in all 3 of these games in this series. McCutchen has. Crawford has. Lucas Hernandez had the day off on Friday, at least in the starting lineup.
Well, Giants will get another off day till a week from Wednesday. Or Thursday, a week from Thursday, I believe.
The pitch. Bell takes one in the dirt. Three and one. And Belt takes the walk. So a 2-out walk for McCutchen.
Right fielder, Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, you're right. The off day you're talking about is going to come in between the Cubs and the A's.
That's the one.
And then the next one will be Monday, the 16th, which is the beginning of the All-Star break. McCutchen takes low.
Well, and you mentioned that Crawford's played in all 3 of these games, and he's likely to play a lot here going into the All-Star break, and he's probably going to get a pretty good chance to go to Washington. So for a Giant player that's going to go to the All-Star game this year, and he's going to leave San Francisco, go to Washington, and then come back to San Francisco. Giants open up the second half against Oakland. Remember when they used to play 2 All-Star games in the same year?
It was the best.
Oh, it was great if you were a fan. It was rough if you were a
Well, I
player.
didn't care. I was a fan. I didn't care.
That's true.
Yeah, I was probably, I don't know, 10, 11, or 12 years old at that time.
Willie Mays didn't miss any of them. Not that that's a bad thing. It is a great privilege to go.
Probably did what? Played on like a Monday and a Wednesday? I don't think they took 4 days off.
Not either.
And that Tuesday was a travel day to the next city. As McCutchen is thrown out to end the inning. It remains 8-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and
Pierce Johnson will go back out. This will be his third inning of work. We showed earlier a Giants fan with the jerseys that Mike and I were on the team that broke them out. The big G, the big S. I really felt like Chili played himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the look that Frank gave, I mean, that was the one. That was Frank's look. That was the look that you'd get if you didn't back up third or get the bunt down, or 65 other reasons that you would get that look.
It was the look that you got when you walked in his office. Hit out into right center field. Yorkie Hernandez got a good jump, and he can't get it. It's going to bounce up against the wall. Nick Ahmed is going to end up at third base with the triple. And that's the first base runner for the D-backs since Goldschmidt was walked intentionally in the fourth.
Ball was slicing away from Yorkie Hernandez. I mean, he had a good jump. He was running a good route. He just, sometimes the ball isn't going to get caught. You see that thing working away on a slice. Ahmed hit that ball well.
So here's Goldschmidt. 2 walks and a fly ball to right. And a drive hit very well to right. And gone. And now you got a ball game.
Boy, just like that, bang, bang. And this is what this ballpark can do to you. It can happen quickly. Another right field approach from Paul Goldschmidt. That set the wheels in motion. And Goldschmidt not waiting around. He's looking for something out over the plate. Inside out, 94. I mean, that's not. I mean, that was on the outside corner. It's not a bad pitch. You want to get ahead, strike one. You've got a 5-run lead. They found too much strike zone, and Goldschmidt does this.
Yeah, that made it by quite a lot.
Gives you an idea how strong that guy is.
Christian Walker. Dyson getting loose. Walker with a fly ball into center field. 1 out. So clearly in this particular inning, the strategy for the D-backs, don't take any pitches.
Apparently not. Take a look at the numbers on the home run off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt. 105 miles per hour, 419 feet away.
So Johnson's going to be out of the game. Time for a change thing. Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Baseball 18 is available right now, and you can learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
So it'll be Sam Dyson with 1 out to face Peralta.
Take a look at the numbers for Sam Dyson. 41st time he's come in. Solid first half for the Giants right-hander.
Now batting, right fielder, David Peralta.
Peralta is 0 for 3. And the pitch. And a tapper. And Hundley's got it. And then 1 pitch. Peralta's retired.
So apparently Peralta got the 1-pitch memo.
Let's go. We're not taking any pitches. We do not want that catcher to catch anything. Here's John Ryan Murphy. Murphy 0 for 2 to draw a walk and score in the second. First pitch swinging. McCutchen on the move. He's not going to get it. And Murphy's got a double. Totally hit away from the defense. I mean, McCutchen was in what would be at AT&T Park, Triples Alley.
Third baseman,
Here's Lamb. Lamb is 2 for 3. And a strike. Did not get the memo. Tony Watson in the Giants pen. Home 2. On the swing, ain't gonna miss. Slater with a beat on it, and that'll end the inning. The damage, 2 runs. It's 8-5 Giants. 12 World Series team will be honored in a pregame Q&A session with Ryan Vogelsong, Marco Scudero, Jeremy Affel, all from that team. Complimentary food and beverage and a 2012 World Series ring desktop collectible. sfgiants.com/special events. All three of those guys, awesome.
That was a good bunch.
Oh yeah, a couple generations, maybe three.
I think three.
Crawford rolls it foul. Crawford 1 for 3. Crawford keeps getting that breaking ball in, and he fouled it in front of the Giants dugout. It's 0-2. Crawford goes the other way, and this is headed into the second deck. Hundley on deck, and then Hansen. See, these are balls hit on the ground. Pretty much all over. All over.
Foul line to foul line.
1 and 2.
30th time that Crawford's faced Jorge De La Rosa. Doesn't have him in his book yet, though.
Longtime starter with the Colorado Rockies.
Is it a double? Is it a triple? Doesn't have a home run. De La Rosa struck him out 11 times. They know each other well.
The Dodgers did avoid the Rockies sweeping them. The Dodgers beat them today. That game now just over. So LA beats them 6-4. Rockies will get on a plane and go home.
Yeah, Rockies had their bullpen had to throw 5 innings in that game.
We are still going to beat the Rockies to Denver. And that's my call.
I hope you're right.
Crawford waves at that breaking ball. First strikeout for De La Rosa. Here's Hundley.
Catcher, Nick
This
Hundley.
is updated to this minute.
Stay tuned. That division right there is going to be that way all the way through.
I believe you're right.
September promises to be a pretty exciting month in the National League West. You could say that about a bunch of the divisions this year.
And the Giants, we don't have any word, but we do know this. Johnny Cueto's pretty doggone close to coming back.
Jeff Samardzija probably going to make a start when the Giants come back to San Francisco this weekend against St. Louis. Evan Longoria close to getting the screws out of his surgically repaired hand.
Yeah, he was throwing today, not catching, throwing. Hundley with another base hit, and this is loud down the left field line. Hundley picks up his 3rd hit, his first extra base hit, and for the Giants, their 14th hit.
Have a day, Nick Hundley.
Third baseman, Alan Hansen.
So here's Hansen. This is De La Rosa's inning. It might be him the rest of the game because the bullpen for the D-backs is quiet.
Hundley started the day hitting 252, 3-hit day. Now he's at 267. It's a good day.
Hansen takes low. Pablo Sandoval got hit in the 3rd, so the at-bats for Hansen came in the 5th when he walked and scored. And then in the 6th, he hit into a double play. On the ground to 3rd. I got on the lamb quick, but he makes the play. 2 down. Here's Slater.
Slater with a chance for a 3-hit day.
Left fielder, Austin Slater.
A hit here could give the Giants a run. And he takes one to the back foot. 1 ball and no strikes.
There was a time that Jorge De La Rosa was the slowest guy in the mound in the league.
It's true.
And since he has come into the bullpen, I mean, he's really changed his rhythm. It's quicker.
Joe Panik's going to get a chance to face De La Rosa. That's an intentional walk.
Second baseman.
Giants had a game
Joe Panik.
Wednesday against the Rockies where it was Bumgarner against Freeland. Freeland went 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. Bumgarner 7 innings, 2 hits and no runs. And those two will face off tomorrow night. Giants won that game, by the way, 1-0. Is that the Brandon Crawford game? It was.
It was.
The walk-off.
The walk 'em off.
Here's Panik. Well, if Crawford has faced De La Rosa a lot, then you'd think Panik has too. 1 for 2, a double.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, he had a few days off when he was pitching. I think the guy's got the most at bats against him is Posey.
1 ball and 1 strike.
But we watched it, I mean, many times with guys who are established big league starters, left-handers, that once their career as a starter was over, they pitched a long time in the bullpen.
Yep.
John Candelaria was one of them. Well, De La Rosa, I mean, he could be around for a while.
Oliver Perez is still doing it.
Oliver Perez. I mean, off the top of my head, I had one guy. Sorry.
That's all right. I helped you out with 1.
This is the 14th year for Jorge De La Rosa.
Well, he was the one guy that came close to conquering Coors Field.
Yeah. Good numbers as a Rocky. "37 years of age. Oh, he's got another 8 years in him.
Absolutely.
Look at Bartolo Colon. I mean, he's still going strong. He's still starting.
3-2.
There's a Giants girl. Oh yeah, she is the life of the party. She's got her orange tutu on. Perfect.
Panik breaks his bat and bounces this one to Owens. And that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
So Tony Watson coming into his 38th game. Good, solid season. 35 base runners, combining hits and walks, 37 and a third against 40 strikeouts.
He'll be facing Chris Owings. John Jay is in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter. And a bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Up the middle, and Watson spears it and underhands it to Bell.
Nice play. Not an easy play to come back across your body's momentum as Watson's fallen off to the third baseline. He's got to unwind and come back and catch that one that was hit to his left side. Take a look at it. Reach across that bit.
And a guy that can run a little bit, that may have been a tough play for Panic. So here's John Jay. Jay is 0 for 7 in the series. Slater barely has to move, and John Jay is 0 for 8 in the series. He's a dead Giants killer, and he's 0 for 8.
I mean, that should be front page news in the Chronicle.
Absolutely. I mean, when the Diamondbacks picked him up, and it was a little while after Pollock went on the DL, it was like, really? That guy? Oh. Here's Dyson. Dyson's 1 for 3. Watson just keeps throwing strikes. It's 0-1. Bunt attempt, foul.
I always thought if you're out on a date, the girl you're with was yawning. That was a bad sign.
Well, yeah, especially if it's in the first hour of the date. Foul towards the end of the bat. Got him, and that'll end the inning.
Nice pitch.
Ninth inning.
Sports in America, presented by Geico, the premiere of the NBC Sports documentary, discusses the benefits and challenges of youth sports for both the athletes and their parents. Today, after Giants postgame live, right here on NBC Sports Bay Area, the documentary will feature interviews with Steph Curry and Jeff Samardzija, and it will be very, very interesting for you to watch. We recommend it.
So it'll be Austin Jackson facing Fernando Salas.
Salas, he's got a fastball that's low 90s. A lot of cutters, slider, changeup coming at you.
Jackson takes a call strike. Jackson got a start on Friday, and he went 0 for 3. Right now, it's kind of the odd man out in the outfield. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a pop-up out of play. Mark Melanson is in the Giants bullpen. Jackson takes just a little bit outside. And a base hit into left center field, and watch Jackson go. He will turn and head into second base with a double. It's got to feel pretty good.
That's got to feel real good. That's got to feel real good on that Giants bench too. Everybody in that bench knows that Austin Jackson's been grinding, and that's not a hanger either. He went down and beat a good location fastball. So you get a veteran who's been working as hard as he has. He gets a little success. That lights up the boys.
There's Gorky Hernandez. This will be his 6th at bat.
That's a good thing.
And he takes a strike. You usually don't get 6 at bats in a 9-inning game. He's trying to bunt his way on, and he bunts it foul.
Well, the ideal lead that managers like to have going into the last 3 outs of a ball game is 5. They like a 5-run lead simply because one swing of the bat does not take away your lead. Worst case scenario, guy hit a grand slam, you're still got a 1-run lead. So this Bochy here playing for a run, trying to add to his 3-run lead.
And this one is chopped off his foot as he does the dance. Yeah, these take a little while to walk it off.
You're amazing. I mean, I've been watching you for years, and every time a guy fouls one off his foot, you start rubbing your foot.
He's got protection and everything, and it hit right in between the 2 guards that he's got on.
Can you still feel that?
Well, if I could go to a spot where it's really, really tender, right in my right shin. And that's a high pop-up foul down the right field line and out of play. That was as a kid. I was walking through the barn with, not a great story, but with a shotgun that went off, and it hit the bottom of the cement floor in the barn. But some of the pellets ricocheted back up and went through my blue jeans and got into my ankle. Back in those days, my dad got a tweezers and pulled as many as he could out, and we forgot about it until I fouled the ball off my ankle, and the Indians wanted me to get x-rays. And I got called into the office big time.
So you've been shot.
They said, you have particles in your ankle. And I said, yeah, I know I do. They said, well, that's not good. I said, no, it's fine. So that's probably one of the reasons why it hurt so much when I would foul the ball off my ankle.
Totally
On the ground,
sense.
foul.
By the way, did you see that guy who had the red shirt on? You know what it said?
It said, don't walk through the barn with a loaded shotgun.
It said, rub dirt on it.
Yeah, I met that guy before the game, and we're going to arm wrestle right afterward.
Yeah, you will wear him out.
Sneak attack.
What were you doing with a shotgun?
You're in the farm. Who knows? Might have been a rodent around. In the dirt. Corkis watches it go by. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, for whatever reason, my dad was like, nah, we'll get him out.
Not a problem.
We'll get
This
him
is the
out.
farm. You're good.
I think the word that Jimmy Warfield, the trainer, says, you have metallic bodies in your ankle. There's a line drive to right, but Peralta got a good jump. He's going to make the catch. Jackson's going to tag and go to third.
Productive out. Good at bat.
And they're going to walk Belt intentionally. I'll tell you what, it's you have a rhythm when you're broadcasting, when you write stuff down so you can look away from the field. I haven't got into the rhythm yet when you look down and the guy's not in the box. He's standing on first.
I know it gets me every time.
And all of a sudden, I'm looking at Belt and he's not in the box. Here's McCutcheon. And McCutcheon pops it up. And it's going to be Owens who makes the catch. And that'll bring up Crawford.
Long day for Andrew McCutcheon.
Brandon Crawford.
0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts. I mean, he had 3 hits in last night's ball game. A hero. Isn't that amazing right there? It tells you all you need to know about baseball and the life of a big league player.
Yeah. You can't wait to read the box score one day, and then the next day, you don't want to get the paper at all.
Yeah, avoid at all cost.
Crawford is 1 for 4. And he takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes. By the way, the 9th spot in the lineup for the Giants has 3 hits. Holland, Pence, and Jackson, and all 3 hits are doubles. Crawford's got a base hit the other way, and we're thinking maybe he's got a double too. Jackson scores. Belt being held up. Crawford into second base, and it's 9-5. So that's got to feel pretty good for Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, it does. It's a 2-hit day.
Catcher, Nick Hundley.
Well, what has really been the difference? Number one, you get a good pitch to hit. That's just a hanging slider from Salas, but still, going the other way. He's used left field so much in this last 7-week period when he's been so hot. And he drives that ball, man. That's got some steam on it. It's not a fillet.
That's 16 hits now for the Giants. Hundley, he's got 3 hits. Belt is at third. Crawford at second. The Brandons are on the bases. Outside, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hundley out of play, headed to the second level here at Chase Field. We didn't get into conversation going home. Was it last night about there still is a real possibility they're going to build a new ballpark here?
Yeah. They're looking in the area as to where their spring training facility is.
Hundley hits a high, towering fly ball into center field. Bryson will wait for this one, and he makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Crawford's RBI gives the Giants a 4-run lead. And when Crawford knocked in the 9th run, that wiped out the opportunity for Melanson to get a save. Clearly, he still would like to get the last 3 outs of the game. And he gets to face the beef. Ahmed, Goldschmidt, Walker. The story of this game is 16 hits for the Giants. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Giants have 7 hits, 6 RBIs. They've scored 5 runs, and they've been on base 9 times. So the bottom of the order has been part of the reason. So here's Ahmed. Ahmed tripled in the 7th. Here he shoots one to Belt. 1 out.
So from Mark Melancon's perspective, that's a one pitch out. Thank you, very nice. What you're looking for.
Here's Goldschmidt. A long home run in the 7th.
See if he stays to right field. It's been his whole approach this whole series.
Well, let's see. Overall, Goldschmidt on Friday went 1 for 3 with a walk. Yesterday, 0 for 4. And 1 hit and 2 at bats today with 2 walks. So I think what the Giants have done is they've just pitched them carefully. If they walk them, they didn't care. And with a 5-run lead, they did go at him. And what did he do? Boom.
Hit it out of the ballpark.
Coming in is Gorky Hernandez. 2 outs. And here's
Left fielder
Walker.
Christian Walker.
Walker had an infield hit in the 3rd. Overall, he's 1 for 4. And he takes low.
Now the goal for Mark Melancon was to get back into the 9th inning. He said to Bruce Bochy, when Bochy said, I want you to get in the pen and we're going to slow play you back to the 9th. He said, fine, I'll do that. I'll pitch the 7th or the 8th, whatever. But I do want to, I want you to know, I want to be back in that 9th inning. And here he is.
Why wouldn't he be, right?
I mean, once you're a closer, you never think of yourself as anything but a closer.
The 1-1. Swing. He backs down to their last strike. And Walker flips one into left field for a base hit. And that'll bring up David Peralta.
Right fielder David Peralta.
Peralta 0 for 4.
He hasn't been seeing a whole lot of 0 for 4s lately either. He's been hot.
He has been hot.
He was their hottest hitter as the Giants rolled into town. They have pitched him well this series.
On the ground and a base hit. So stopping at second is Walker. And here's Murphy.
Catcher
Will Smith just stretching it out. Just thinking about one guy, and that's Jake Lamb, who's on deck.
Yeah, and if Lamb were to get up, he would represent the tying run.
Correct. And you would see Will Smith.
Murphy doubled in the 7th. And it's low. 1 ball and no strikes. Swinging a foul off the backstop behind home plate. Melanson has thrown 18 pitches. Two and one.
Well, now Melanson's going to take a little time. Hit the rosin bag that he doesn't really need to hit, just to kind of slow things down. It's so easy when you get back to the ninth inning. You get caught up in the emotion of the ninth inning. Because this inning means a lot to Mark Melanson.
And the 2-1. Here it is to Murphy. Swing. Gonna miss. 2-2.
He wants to end it right here. He does not want to have somebody come out of that bullpen.
Oh, absolutely. See if he backs it up with the same pitch. 3-2. Well, I guess, Mike, you have to throw a strike.
Well, you got to throw a strike, exactly.
If he hits it out, he hits it out.
You've got a challenge here. He knows that.
Base hit. So coming in to score is Walker. And now Bruce Bochy will go to Will Smith. So we're going to take a break. It's 9-6, and we'll be back. The hitter is Jake Lamb. And there's Will Smith, who picked up the save on Friday night.
26th time that he has come in. And the way that he closed this game out in the first game of the series, I mean, he really looked like he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he did. So 2 outs and then 3 straight singles. And there's a breaking ball for a called strike. And it was not it was a hanger.
But to get it in first pitch breaking ball, you know, you lay it up there a little higher. Now you stretch it out, start locating a little bit lower. That's the plan.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Go like that.
There's a on the play. Murphy went. He almost went back to first. He thought that Lamb had fouled it. So it's 0-2.
Lighting right now is not easy for anybody in that batter's box.
1-2. Owens is watching from the on-deck circle. Got him, and that's the ball game. He's been good, and I think you're right. I think he likes it.
He likes that 9th inning, and it's his 2nd save, and it won't be his last.
So the Giants, who pounded out 16 hits today, both starters Holland and Godley, what do we call them, grinders today?
Well, indeed, they were not too sharp, but they were grinding the whole way. It turned out to be a bullpen game, and the Giants shined. But the thing I like about what they did today is they added on with their offense.
They stranded 14 in this game, but they scored 9 runs. All right, final score, Giants 9, D-backs 6. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for Giants Postgame Live, presented by Toyota, which starts right now.